So, in order to achieve a lucid dream, which is something that I've only experienced once in the past year so far, there's a certain training process. It's a learning process that you have to go through. It's not something that happens overnight. And some people just can't do it. And over the past year, I've done plenty of research. There's a lot of research in books, on the internet, different studies. And I actually bought a book on lucid dreaming. And I read through it, and I started following some of the steps to guide you along your way. I didn't have much luck. I mean, nothing was really happening. And even though the book said not to get frustrated, it was still frustrating to me because it wasn't like I would partially have a lucid dream or would, be making any progress. I didn't feel like I was making any progress. And I almost concluded that I just wasn't going to be one of those people who could train to have lucid dreams. And then through my own research on the internet, I developed my own step process to eventually be able to have lucid dreams on a regular basis. And the very first step, and this is something I still do today, it's real basic, but it's hard to remember, is I would ask myself, and I still do, is this real? It sounds really weird, because obviously when you're awake, of course it's real, but it's the question that you're trying to get yourself in the habit of asking. And originally, when I was doing this, it would be kind of at random times. I would just, is this real? Am I really eating? Am I really taking a shower? And am I really driving to work? Those kind of things. Originally, it was just random, whether I was at the computer or talking on the phone or whatever. And I found that didn't really help because I would forget, or I never felt like it was doing me any good. So what I started to do is at set times or set events, I would ask the question. First and foremost, when I wake up, whether I remember a dream or not, I ask myself, is this real? Am I awake? Am I awake? And, am I cold? Am I warm? Those kind of things. Am I conscious? And usually that's where you can tell that you're not dreaming. Although some people experience dreams inside of dreams, but we'll go into that some other time. And then the other place that I ask myself if I'm dreaming is when I first get into my car to drive to work. Do I hear the car starting? Can I feel the motor running? Headlights on? Those kind of things. Just ask, this is real. It's either cold, it's hot, whatever. If I'm brushing off my car because it just snowed, yes, this is real. It's cold outside. This sucks. Those kind of questions. So here I am in the car, and I'm getting ready to drive down to the store and grab a few donuts and chocolate milk that aren't good for me. It's almost 4 in the morning, and right now what I'm thinking about is, am I really driving? Do I really smell the air coming out of the vents? Do I feel the car running? Do I hear the car running? Is it a little bit chilly out? those kind of things. That's all running through my head right now, and these are checks that I do usually every morning when I go to work, when I get out of work, and things like that. It's really not that difficult to do. It's just something that you get into the habit of. And right now, I'm thinking to myself, is this reality or is this a dream? And I'm telling myself right now that this is in fact reality. And there are other spots throughout the day that I will ask, specific spots. And really, you can't just say to yourself, am I awake or am I asleep? Because then it just becomes some mundane question that you just ask yourself and whatever. You don't even think about it. You really seriously have to stop and think. Why are you awake? Why are you conscious? Why are you in the real world rather than in a dream? The whole point to doing that is that while you're dreaming, you will ask yourself that same question. It becomes a habit. It's something that you take with you to your dream. That way, when you actually do ask yourself in your dream, is this a dream? Most likely you can answer yourself and say, yes, this is a dream. And then at that point, things really start to take off. Even with that, there's been several times that I can specifically remember asking myself inside of a dream, am I dreaming? Am I awake? Or whatever. A lot of times it'll end right there. I'll just continue on with my dream as if I didn't even ask. Sometimes I will say, yeah, it's a dream, but then still continue on with my dream as if I never even asked. And really, the goal is to be able to ask yourself the question inside the dream and then lock yourself out. Sort of snap yourself out of the fact that you're dreaming. Not wake yourself up, but just kind of, oh, this is a dream, and look around. You know, I'm in a field in the middle of nowhere and I'm dreaming. I'm in a plane about to jump off. It's a dream. You know, I'm broke, but it's a dream. So who cares? You know, those kind of things. And that's the important part, is to be able to differentiate between what is a dream and what isn't a dream. So that's your first step. That's the very first step that I took. And it took a long time. I mean, I'm telling you, it took 6-8 months before I was finally in the habit of point after point after point asking myself that question. And then remembering that I was asking myself the question inside my dream. And only once so far have I been able to ask myself that question and then actually control the dream from there on out. And so it's a step process, but that's step one. That's basically how you start the process. You don't just go from step 1 to 10 just like that. It takes a long time. So hopefully that'll get you started, and hopefully be able to have your own lucid dream. It takes time, but it's worth it.